Back. I'm ready. And again, I want to thank everyone for joining us on today. We have a lot of information that we want to give to you. And let me just take the time to welcome you to Mercy Me 924C phone conference on today. I'd ask us if we just pause for a moment or just silent meditation. Thank you, everyone. Presenting today will be Don Franks of Destin Advocacy Project Alliance, DAPA, Roel Clausen, Strong Prison Wives and Families, SPWF, and Kelly Neal, Locked Up Loved Ones, LULO. Now, Kelly's sick, so she may or may be talking with us today, but she is on the line. Our agenda is pretty full, and so we're going to get right into things. I just had a text message from Wanda. She can't get in. Jesus. One moment here. Okay. Our agenda is pretty full, so we're just going to dive right on in. And hopefully everybody has received the 2 emails that were sent out to you. One was called the introduction, and the other one was called urgent. We cannot allow this to happen. I'm trying to do a couple of things at once, so just bear with me here. I want to get Wanda the access code. My fingers don't want to work. Okay, 289. 28. Okay. I won't be distracted anymore, hopefully. I'll just keep going. Again, our agenda is full, and hopefully you've received the 2 emails that we sent out to you. I won't waste your time by going over or reading any of those emails that were sent to you because I want to respect your time. If you did not receive the emails, just send me a request and I will send those to you. I'll send those to you. My voice is so hoarse today. I've been on the phone for the last 3 days. It's been kind of rough getting this together, but it's so much information that we need to pass on that it had to be done. We're going to be talking today about Sentencing Reform and Corrections Act. That's SRCA, the Sentencing Reform Correction Act, S2123. The Sentencing Reform Correction Act surrounds Section 104 and Section 105. And there's been a lot of talk out there about those two sections being eliminated from the SRCA bill. And you might say, well, why is that important? It's important because it houses the 924C inmates, and also the words of retro is enclosed in those two sections. One of them is a section for career criminals. However, that is important to us also because when the Supreme Court makes their ruling, in fact they did, that language was a little vague, it could trickle down to the 924C inmates. Most have heard that the section had been taken out. The truth is, as of today, this is not true. The two sections are still there. However, we have to push back and insist that the section or sections remain in the bill and that the majority leader, who is Mitch McConnell, bring the bill to the floor for a vote. We are pushing for it to be amended and made retro so that all stacking defendants have the opportunity to apply for reduction in their sentences. This part is critical. There are forces out there that are working against us to eliminate both sections. I'm going to tell you their names. They are Senators Tom Cotton from Arkansas, Senator Rich from Idaho, Senator Tom Cruise from Texas, who is also running for the President of the United States, and Senator Orrin Hatch, Utah. And I'm certain that there are others that I haven't mentioned. These four, however, have been very, very vocal, and they're trying to garner as much support as they possibly can to get those two sections eliminated from the SRCA bill. It's going to be very critical that we take action. We're going to have to push and insist that those sections remain in the bill. Bear with me here. I may get a little and likes to say, because this part is, I'm very passionate about it. By doing everything, how are we going to do this? You might say, by doing everything in our power to insist that Congress hears us loudly and that we're very clear on what it is that we want. We cannot be afraid to speak up, write, email, make phone calls, or other things that will be discussed in our call to action. This may be our only chance to bring our loved ones home. How about that? This could quite possibly be our only chance. Some of our loved ones have been there a very, very long time. We have to pull out all the stops and make it happen. Do you know who you are and how strong we are collectively versus individually? This is something that we can do. We can do this. This is an election year. We have the power beyond our imaginations, but only if we're united and push and insist. Tell me, how is it that a murderer, a pedophile, a bomber can have a second chance at rehabilitation. But our 924C loved ones cannot? No. We've got to tell Congress who, tell us, Congress, who would you like to meet up with on a dark night? And who is more, quote, quote, a violent offender? Someone who commits a robbery or someone who plans and then murders someone? Help me. Help me make this make sense, Congress. Well, this is exactly what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to show Congress that this is not making sense to us, and we will not stand for it anymore. These, quote, violent offenders are let out of prison every day. And we want justice. We want justice for our loved ones with 924C and stacking charges. And we want it now. There's some things that will have to happen. And this is our call to action. Voting. We first are asking everyone, if you are not registered to vote, please register and do it now. The battle starts right here. We have the power to vote people in and vote people out. We want to vote those that support our cause. Just a second here. We should be actively engaged in this presidential election and our own local and state government. Again, I'm going to repeat that. We should be actively engaged in this presidential election and our own local and state government. Who do you think gave your sons, daughters, husbands, wives, loved ones, friends their sentences? The prosecutor. They are elected in all but 4 states. So not just the presidential election is important, but our own local and state government officials are important as well. The next Supreme Court justice should be a concern for all of us. President Obama, neither may or may not make this last appointment. And we know not yet who will win the presidential election and who they will appoint while they're in office. There are a lot of issues on the table, including a residual clause, which the Supreme Court stated was vague. The residual clause could mean a lot for our 924C inmates. Right now, it is very important for armed career criminals. However, if action is taken by the Sentencing Commission to change the language, and depending upon what that language says, it could trickle down to 924C. We need to be talking to those people running for office. We need to find out what they know about 924C. We need to educate them and get them committed one way or another as to how they will vote. And you will have to press them. You can't give up. You want to know, because that should be a deciding factor for you. And you can let them know that. You should let them know that. Tell them that you are connected to groups that collectively have a voice of 13,000 to 15,000 people. Thank you, strong prison wives and families. And that you are talking about the lives of 2,219 individuals. I'd like to pause for a moment and let you know that in the correspondence I sent out to you, I made a mistake. And the number I listed was 3,000, but as of May 20th, 2015, it was reported by the United States Sentencing Commission that that number is now 2,219. And it went down because of those inmates that were released, those 6,000 inmates. Part of them were drug cases and stuff like that, and it did affect our numbers. So it's good. We're at 2,219 inmates. Our next call to action is a list of people to contact. I have a list of 7 names of which we would like to get correspondence out as soon as possible. You will have your choice to write, call, email, or all 3. I would like to suggest that you would do at least 2 of the above. The goal here would be to have it completed by March 5th so that we could gear up for another round. And I will be emailing you this list no later than tomorrow. We're asking you to give us the names and addresses of those influential people that you may know. We're looking for journalists, producers, entertainers, and we should have one on the line, Gary Cole. And Gary, if you are there, I'll ask you if you'd be willing to speak briefly to us, if you wish, and have the time after I finish with the agenda. We're also looking for editors. You may get where I think you get where I'm going with this. Please, if you know of anyone in the media, any media contacts or organizations, what have you, that you believe have some influence on what it is that we're doing, please, please, please send us an email, and you can send it to the United for Change email address, and or the other addresses, which we'll name shortly. And we'll combine that list together. I'll get it out to Rodon and Kelly, and we'll divide those and get working on those so that we can compose another list to get out to you. But please, when you send us the names and addresses and emails and phone numbers, please verify what you're sending us. it would be a waste of time and effort if we were to send mail that was going to be returned back to us. And we understand that sometimes it does happen, but we're just asking that you make your very best effort in doing so, and the email addresses and phone numbers as well. The next thing that we have on our agenda is a petition. We have a new petition out urging Congress to act swiftly and move forward on these old draconian penalties with amendments and make retro so that all stacking defendants have an opportunity to apply for relief. I will also send you the link to the petition, and I'll get that out to you by tomorrow so that you can get started on it right away. Please note that with all these things that we're talking about, we hope that you would share it with people that you know, come in contact with on a daily basis, people on your job, churches, Facebook pages, Twitter, websites, Periscopes, Instagram, and so on. This will be effective. It will be effective if we work it. Use every available social media that is available to you. I strongly urge you to. Strongly. And you will see, without a doubt, that we will be victorious in our efforts, that it will not be vain and will not come back to us void. The four of us, John, Roll, Kelly, and I, are going to do up flyers to get the word out. Use your imagination. Be creative. We're asking you to roll up your sleeves, and it's time to go to work. It is time to go to work. As I stated before, this could be our only chance to bring our loved ones home. We waited a long, long time for bills to come out like this. It's not the best bill. In fact, we're strong advocates for the Safety Act bill. That bill is not on the table yet. So we're asking and pleading with you to be creative, get busy, roll up your sleeves, and let's all put effort into bringing our loved ones home. The fourth thing that we have on the agenda is parent. And Karen, I hope that you're on the line. I'm looking up your number now. I would like for you to address the group, if you will. Just a second. Okay. The parent that we have name is Karen Walls. And Karen, I can't find you here. Oh my goodness. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'll do this. Karen, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to you can take over now, and if you like what we discussed, is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
There were just a couple of points, one in particular that I feel very strongly about. I haven't had success with so far, but I do believe that she could be a huge major key in our fight, and that's to get in touch with Oprah. I have her email is very simple. It's just oprah.com. And
you can Karen, you can just go ahead and send that one to us, but for the sake of time, I wanted you to.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to mention very quickly is the ones that are against putting in the section 04 and 05 are saying they don't want to flood the streets with violent criminals, but as you mentioned, and in particular, co-conspirators are the first ones back out on the streets that may have done the same crime as the one that's been punished triple-fold. But they cooperated, and within a matter of a very short period of time, they are released back out into the street. There's a lot of points that these people that are against the 104 and 105, they don't seem to bring up. They're shoved under the rug. They're not mentioned. And there's quite a few of them, and I don't know how much time I have. The one thing that I did want to go over with all of you is I have the article in front of me. My son was incarcerated for 90 years back in 2004. He refused his 45-year plea bargain and took his chance and went to trial, and they gave him 90 years in prison. He was less than 21 years old at the time, and it states the day they sentenced him, the federal judge bemoans 90-year minimum sentence. As detained in from New York, U.S. District Judge Thomas A. McAvoy yesterday bemoaned having to impose essentially a life sentence on a defendant in his 20s for his actions as the getaway driver in a series of bank robberies. Bank robber Greg could spend the rest of his life in prison after getting a 90-year, 1-month sentence Tuesday from a federal court judge who said he believed the Kirkwood man's sentence was too long. Federal Judge Thomas McAvoy, sitting in Binghamton, said meting out Rose's punishment Tuesday for his role in a bank robbing spree between 2003 and 2004 wasn't something he wanted to do. In my opinion, the sentence is much too long, McAvoy said, but it's not my call. Rose will serve 3 mandatory consecutive 25-year sentences on the firearm. When he and several older men committed a spree of armed robberies in 3 states. From October 2003 to 4, Rose was convicted by a federal court jury in February on a conspiracy charge as well as multiple counts of bank robbery and use of a firearm during a crime of violence. No one was harmed in the robberies, said Rose's attorney. Notably, Judge McAvoy was perhaps especially troubled by the sentence he felt he had to impose on. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
He felt he had to impose on Rose because Rose's co-defendant is likely to receive a sentence less than half as long. In each of the robberies, a lone gunman, who prosecutors later stated his name, 25 years old, threatened bank employees with a handgun. Boraheen could serve 43 years in prison as a result of the guilty plea. Now, this is what the stacking charges, this is what the 924C, the Section 104 and 105 is all about. A 20-year-old man is facing 90 years in prison. They call it a life sentence. Who lives to be 110? Not very many. That's pretty much, that's a really good example of what we're talking about. There needs to be changes made, and they need to be changed now.
Thank you.
That's pretty much all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate you sharing your letter of your son, Greg Rose. I wanted to ask if we had maybe a special guest that was going to possibly join us, and I'm going to ask if Lisa, are you on the line? Lisa, are you on the line? Okay. Well, are you on the line?
I'm here, Devon.
Okay. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, sure. So I spoke to Adam last night, and one thing that we spoke about was the emotions of Are you there, Devon? It's okay, I'll do it next time.
Did you get my text on how to unmute yourself?
I'm sorry?
Did you get my text on how to unmute yourself?
I didn't. Is it *6?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Thank you. Hello? Oh. Okay, go ahead, Ralph. Hello? Hello?
Yvonne,
Yes.
it keeps saying muted and unmuted.
I know. I'm controlling it. Oh, are you there? I see you here.
What is my power?
I want to unmute it so that, I want to mute it so that we don't get all the distractions, but.
Yeah.
Ro, are you there? Okay, I'm going to cut the mute off.
Can you hear me now, Devon? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. There you go.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. So I just want to make this really quick statement, and then I'll go back on mute because I don't know if something's wrong with my new phone, but I was speaking to Adam last night, and one thing that came up was the emotions that all of us are faced with when Congress people make all of the
Oh, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there you go.
Sorry, it's for some reason it just keeps doing that by itself. I'm not sure what's going on, but so the emotions of everything that all of the Congress people adding and taking away from these bills and these laws, it's an emotional roller coaster for all of us, and it becomes very depressing. And one thing he brought to my attention last night that I wanted to pass along to everybody here who experiences the same emotion is that it's actually a very good thing right now that happened, because I think that they were settling for, what they thought would be something that is just okay versus something that's really, really good. And so I think that, or he thought that got the attention of everybody right now, with them wanting to take that section out of the bill that could help us, because I think a lot of them are realizing that they're just taking stuff out and they're kind of playing games. So yes, it's an emotional roller coaster, but at this point it's benefiting us. And I'm going to put myself back on mute because my phone's being weird, but I just wanted to pass that along from him.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And at 1:41 p.m., we'd like to hold a conference to try to just keep you right at 1 hour or less. And Kelly, I know you're on the line, and I want to ask you if you had anything that you wanted to try to say. I just want to give you an opportunity. And if you're still not feeling well, we do understand. Okay, she didn't respond. So, to bring our conference call to a close, we're going to ask Dawn Franks to come and to close us out. And she has a lot that she wants to highlight and tell us. Dawn? Dawn, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Okay, let me start over again.
There you go.
Good afternoon and good morning, everybody. I was saying while I was muted and I didn't know that I just want to take a moment out and just acknowledge Devon and tell her thank you. I don't know if she's had any rest. We know she works nights, and we were up working late last night on this letter, and she still had several more things to do. And when she texted me and she told me she was going to bed, it was 6 a.m. my time. So she has been up working all night long. So I just wanted to acknowledge her and her efforts on working and us coming together as a collective and a coalition of people with the same mission, the same goals to bring our loved ones home. Like I was saying, last night we worked on a support letter that we are going to use to send out to the senators. And it was, we kind of pulled some from Ian's letter that he wrote, suggestion from my loved one, Larry Harris, and we knocked this letter out last night, and I am going to read it to you because I would like for us to use it. Let me pull it up. I thought I was ready, but you know how we're all multitasking.
Oh, yeah.
Forgive me, guys, I had everything together, and the call dropped, and I had to call in, and it deleted all where I was going.
Take your time. You see how long it took me.
Okay. So while I'm looking for that, I'm going to I found it. Thank God. Okay. So I'm going to read it, and Devon will make this available to you all. I have posted on my Facebook page, Dapple's Facebook page, and so it will be something that we can go ahead and use. So state, Dear Senator, in the coming weeks, you will have an opportunity to improve fairness, limit racial disparity, reduce draconian sentencing while maintaining the integrity of public safety. How? by voting in favor of the Sentencing Correction Reform Act, S2123, sponsored by Senator Chuck Grassley with bipartisan support. The S2123 legislation is vital to many who are incarcerated and their families, specifically those serving mandatory sentences under 18924C. These consecutive 20 or 25-year sentences for first-time offenders who become recidivists at the time of sentencing are very harsh, leaving many with life-like sentences. There is no chance for rehabilitation, leaving them hopeless with no reward for their good behavior or relief of their sentence. Currently, opposition has hit Section 104 and 105 of S2123. This is unfortunate due to miseducation and the label and broadness of crime of violence term. Now there is a window of opportunity for those incarcerated under 924C. Congress should not forfeit to overhaul this injustice. Are 924C incarcerated any different from those who receive plea deals from the U.S. attorneys? The only difference is that the person being released either cooperated with the government to receive a much shorter sentence, plead guilty to a reduced charge, and received a much shorter sentence, or they obtained better legal representation. It is a fact that murderers get shorter sentences. U.S. attorneys and assistant U.S. attorneys sign off on plea agreements every single day that permit violent offenders back into society. And the individual who exercised their Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial, when verdict is guilty, the stacking penalty of 924C is applied. Judges have no choice but to render these decisions. With that being said, to use the term violent offender would threaten public safety isn't fair. As a family member or constituent of 924C individuals, we push and insist that Congress move forward with amendments and make retroactive so that all stacking defendants have the opportunity to apply for reduction of sentence. We urge Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to bring the bill to the floor for a vote. In addition to, please return all discretion to the sentencing judge to determine a fairer sentence to 924C incarcerated inmates. From the beginning, their hands were tied. Now, with S2123 becoming law, that can take into account all factors for sentencing and determine which individuals warrant release. I think this letter is precise. It gets straight to the point, to the nitty-gritty, and I believe we have presented a very good cause for them to take pause in what they're saying. And our focus is to combat the tactics that the senators that were mentioned that are using as a fear tactic in the media. So that is the letter that we're going to use. The second thing that I would like to bring up, we have mentioned before about doing a video. Last week, I worked on a video. I didn't like it, so I'm going to work on a video again this week using the things that I mentioned in the letter as my basis for the argument and to put that out there. I suggest that you too can do a video. You know, everybody's, doing the selfies. You can do a short video or whatever and post it. When you post your videos or when you make comments about your loved ones, we need you to start using hashtags with 924C in them. Okay, some of the hashtags that I will be using in my videos are just posting, and I got to go back and post it on my Facebook page for the letter, is hashtag Get Educated 924C, hashtag Make 924C Retro, hashtag 924C Stacking is Unjust. So those are three that you can use. And if you have any more, hashtag it. And if we all just start using the same hashtags and somebody get a video up there, I will upload it, and we just share that video and continue to post it and hope that it becomes viral, and make sure that we ask people to share our video so Americans can become aware of this unjust sentence, because if their loved one is not sentenced by this, and 3,000 is a very small number when you're considering people in America. That's a really tiny number. So we have to really work smart to get our information out there. So if we can just post everything, if you have articles, if you read articles, post those articles. Get savvy. Open Twitter accounts. Open get an Instagram. Get connected into the social media, because we have to flood these systems. We have to draw attention to ourselves. We have to combat this rhetoric from these senators that are saying things that are absolutely bogus. They know that it's not true, but I believe their hearts are hardened, and they want to stay in that mindset of being tough on crime means right, when they know, and the statistics shows that it has been wrong, it's proven wrong, and it has drained the American system with funding and trying to pay for all of this stuff. It has broken up families. It has taken people away from pursuing their education, re-entering to society. Is just a whole domino effect, a plethora of things that has occurred from this mass incarceration. So we definitely have to put ourselves out there. We have to represent the so-called crime of violence community, because if it's left up to them, we will be left in the dust. And so we have to let our voices be heard, that crime of violence, which is so broad, and people that have crime of violence that never even had a gun. Some of them never even had a gun in their hands. But because that label is so broad, it's so many people that has fallen into that net. So we have to make sure that we have our voices heard. So I just want to end in that, and I want to encourage you, and we're just going to stay to it until we can't do anything else. I believe that we will prevail, and I guess that's it. And so, Devon, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dawn. Again, I want to stress and reiterate what Dawn said. We're asking everyone that's on the line, make a YouTube video. Get it out there. And if we all participate and make a video about our loved ones, it can go viral. People will begin to hear us. They will take notice. They will start asking questions. Make your YouTube video. Strongly stressing that. Make that video. Get it out. Excuse me.
Devon.
And then let us know. Let us know also that you've made the video, so that we can share it and ask other people on our Facebook pages and things of that nature to go to it and watch it and share it on their pages. We've got to pull out all the stops, guys. This could be our only chance. This could be the only chance and opportunity that we will have to bring our loved ones home. And it's no time to be shy, to think that we can't do anything. If you need help, give us a call, send us an email. Let us know what you would like to do, and maybe there may be a way that we can help you with that. One of the things that I have launched, and I'm working on the last piece of it, and I will let you know when it's up and running, is Blog Talk Radio. So I'm going to probably be contacting you guys to see if you want to be participants on the broadcast on the radio and tell your story about your loved ones. We will be pointing them to a Mercy Me website to see the profiles of injustice. And I encourage you also to do the same. Send people to the Mercy Me website so that they can see those pictures of injustice. Also, we have APA, LULO, and Strong Prison Wives and Families. I would like for you guys to give your website addresses, if you will, and email addresses if individuals want to contact you. If you would do that, that would be awesome. And also, when I send out the first correspondence, I'll make sure that I include those addresses in that, just in case you don't get it from us this time. So if you guys could, if you'd be kind enough to just tell us, because we have a lot of new participants on the line, what your sites are and what they're about. Please.
Savon, this is Ro. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great. My website is Strong Prison Wives and Families. The URL is strongprisonwives.com. Again, that's strongprisonwives.com. My email address is strongprisonwives@gmail.com. Basically, it's a social network and support group for loved ones and family members of the incarcerated. So you can go there and you can ask for support in any area of this journey, for people who are going through it and actually understand what you go through and can empathize with you. It's also a platform that I use. We have over 20,000 members at this point, so I use it a lot to get out the word about mandatory minimum sentencing injustice, specifically 924C. Again, one more time, it's strongprisonwives.com. And also, Devon, I would love to pass along some resources and apps for people who aren't very tech savvy that can help them make videos really easy from a phone, or they can pass along pictures to a website, for example, Fiverr, and get a video made for as little as $5. So I'll pass that along to you to pass along to everybody in an email, if that's okay.
Oh, that would be awesome, Ro. I'll need
it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I miss you too, honey.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else? On. Okay. Don's website is Destin. Oh, I better look it back up because I'll mess it up.
Okay, Devon. Devon, can you hear me?
I can now. Thank you.
Oh, okay. My gosh, I'm walking to my car, and now walking out, I couldn't see my screen. I dulled the screen, so I couldn't see anything. I had to walk back in the house to get it. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. You could contact me at dfranks@axmedappa.com. You know what? Let me give you guys this email because let me give you this email. dfranks, the number 4, dfranks for me. Oh, gosh, I almost forget. For me at Yahoo. dfranks, the number 4, the word me at Yahoo.
And your organization?
Okay. And my organization is Destin Advocacy Project Alliance. Now, I'm just going to be very upfront because I'm real all the time, and let me just share this part with you. I have a website, but there are some things that I need to make corrections, and if you know about a website and you're not website savvy to get in there and change all that stuff, I don't know how to do it, and the person that helped me wasn't able to do it. So at this time, I'm going to hold off on that because I need to make some changes to some of the things that are up there, and So I'm just going to hold on to that if you guys can just bear with me. There's some grammatical things that I need to take down. Oh, gosh.
Got a video out there about the thing that you did, and that's awesome piece.
Okay. It is www.askmedapa.org. askmedapa.org.
Thank you. Thank you very
Devon,
much.
I have a suggestion. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. This idea just came to me.
Okay.
I think we should have another conference call in about a week or so once the four of us get together and give people the time to set up their Instagram, not their Instagram, their Twitter. If you have a smartphone, to set up your Twitter account, and we should have a conference call and tweet at that, make that conference call a social media call, and we tweet all at the same time to these different senators. Hashtags and some things. So I think at that time we can, if we have, 300-400 people on the phone, then we'll say, okay, we're going to send this tweet to the POTUS, and we'll say this, and everybody put it in their phone, and we all send it. And I think we need to start incorporating that into our conference calls where we'll have social media drives at that time.
Don, that's an excellent idea. Excellent. Wow. I'm with that. That sounds great.
The grammatical stuff is not mine, but the creativity, I'm all with that right there. That's me. Okay.
Is there, at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute everyone, and if Gary Coles, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Gary Coles.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you said Nicole.
No, Gary.
Okay.
Okay. He's not on the line, but he's an entertainer. He has an awesome website, and he has done a lot to boost Mercy Me, in fact, with likes. And I think he brought probably about 200 people or over or more to Mercy Me. He made it his mission. He said, "We're going to get you. We're going to get you. I got to get you some more likes." And he did just that. So he has an awesome website as well, and he's doing really good work with his business. Like I said, he's an entertainer, and he's just all over. He did call in and ask me what the number was, but he's a very busy guy. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk with him later. And he has pulled out all the stops to bring his brother home. And whatever it is that we need of him, he has said just let him know, and he will do his best to make it happen. And again, his name is Gary Coles, Coles, and you can look him up if you like. So having said that, it is now 2:04. The line is open, and we're going to adjourn our meeting.
Devon.
And open it now for Q&A. So if any of you have to go, and now is the time. But if you have questions and want some answers,